The door clicked shut behind them. That sound still echoes in my head. I was rinsing a cup when my daughter crossed the living room without a cane, without hesitation, without fear. Her bare feet knew the path. She stopped inches from me and tilted her face up. "Daddy," she whispered, breath warm, urgent. "I can see. Leave this house before they come back. I've seen terrible things. Check Mom's closet and you'll understand." I didn't ask how long. I didn't ask why. When the truth arrives that calmly, questions feel like disrespect. I opened the closet. Inside were folders sealed in plastic, passports that weren't ours, burner phones, ledgers with dates and payments, photos of meetings I was never meant to know about, medical reports with forged signatures, mine and my daughter's. Proof that her blindness had been staged, reinforced, insured. Proof that the woman I married and the woman who raised her had built a life on controlled darkness. I felt something in me go quiet. Not break. Focus. I packed one bag. I took my daughter's hand. She didn't stumble. We left town forever that night. Years earlier, I had trusted too easily. I believed in building things, in stability, in the idea that love was a long game. When my wife suggested consolidating my retirement into a family trust, I signed without reading the fine print. She smiled, like someone who knew she'd won something. I mistook it for affection. Her mother was always watching, always correcting, teaching my daughter to stay small, stay dependent, teaching me to apologize for asking questions. The first crack came when I noticed the reports. Blindness doesn't improve, but my daughter's world had edges. She'd flinch before obstacles, turn toward light. I filed it away. I always filed it away. After we left, I stopped filing things away. I hired quietly, investigators who didn't ask why, doctors who ran tests without assumptions, lawyers who read every clause backward. What we found was elegant in its cruelty: staged diagnoses, bribed specialists, insurance payouts, and a trust designed to transfer control to my wife's family if I was deemed unstable or obsolete. Outdated. That was the word the CEO used years later when I returned under a different name. I didn't rush. Revenge spoils when served hot. I moved cities, built a company, bought debt, learned which board members drank too much and which ones feared exposure. I fed the trust slowly, like a machine that only wakes when it's full. The trust wasn't just a savings vehicle, it was a weapon. Voting rights dormant until a trigger event, termination without cause, a public dismissal. I waited. The day came in a glass conference room with a skyline view. The CEO leaned in, breath sharp. "You're outdated. We're done here." I nodded, calm. Understood. That was the moment the retirement trust activated its voting rights. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. Panic wears a sound. Papers shuffling too fast, chairs scraping. Someone asked the question that mattered. Who just fired the person who owns 76% of the shares? I didn't attend. I watched the live stream from a quiet kitchen while my daughter did her homework in full light. Her eyes were steady now, clear. The fallout was surgical. Executives resigned, accounts froze. The CEO's severance vanished into litigation. My wife and her mother were named in civil suits tied to fraud, coercion, and medical abuse. The photos from the closet found their way into the right hands. Truth has a way of traveling when you stop blocking its path. The confrontation was brief. She called once, screamed, cried, promised explanations. I listened until she ran out of words. "I saw the closet," I said. So did the board. Silence is loud when it finally arrives. We never went back. I sold the house to strangers who painted over the walls. I changed our names. I taught my daughter how to cross streets, how to trust her eyes, how to be angry without being consumed. Sometimes I replay the moment she walked toward me, the certainty in her steps, the courage it took to break a lie built by adults. Justice didn't come with fireworks. It came with balance sheets, court filings, and the slow collapse of a structure that mistook control for strength. I don't feel regret. I feel alignment. They built a world where darkness was profitable. I turned on the lights. And when the door closed that day, it wasn't the end, it was the signal. I listened, then I moved.